Alright, Monday, after spring break, we're going to call this week number 9 out of 15. And this is Intro to Computers. Networks and the web. We talked a little bit about assignment 4. So we started off here. First of all, a couple announcements. Job fair, April 4th, 2018. There's information on, you go to nyac.edu/career fair, all one word. And you can see me with more information, but it goes from like 11 to 2. And there's lots of companies there. So it's a great opportunity to network, so to speak. Not the same network as here, but similar, with other people in terms of jobs in the area. And the people at the job fair are always looking for employees or interns or different things like that. So, and then on Friday, we have our first tech den. We're going to do some things from Canvas and attendance in Canvas, doing some type of reporting. So it's kind of nerdy stuff, but we're going to use the facilities in PC-229, and that goes from 9 to noon, and we're going to try to solve a technological problem. So even if you don't know coding, it's a great avenue to think about a problem and how to solve it and how to get the results to the people who need it. So let's take a look here then at some key items here. We talked about hardware, we talked about software, system software and applications. You know, system software was utilities and testing. 1, 2. Okay, here we go. Let me keep going here. So then we're talking about networks now. We're going to talk about that for 2 units. We're going to talk about communications, networks, the internet, and then security. And in every unit, people are affected by all these. Currently in the news is Facebook, with some issues with information and data of Facebook users used inappropriately. And we could talk about that for an entire hour. So that'll be a topic later on as we move forward. Okay. Some key items here. Let's get started. The protocols, rules for transmitting data. There are rules in how, let's say, a PC sends information to a switch, how a switch connects to another device, and then how that connects to a firewall. Same thing here. We have an Apache server. And there are protocols, rules that allow us to communicate with that server. So let me just give an example. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That allows us to send HTML files between, let's say, a browser and a web server. That way people can design browsers to communicate with web servers, and web servers can communicate with browsers because they're using the same protocol. How that information moves between devices. So we have wired, run it through wires, run it through fiber optics, or we can send it through the air. Wireless. Talk more specifically. Remember, wireless has different types of wireless. For example, Wi-Fi. is one particular type of wireless. We'll talk more about those particulars here later on. Okay? So, go back here. So we talked about how to communicate. In fact, we actually connected to, everybody opened up and looked at their web page that we have on a server in the classroom. We talked quite a bit about like a URL. You know, you have some URL that points you to some site. That URL uses hypertext transfer protocols. Just some rules that allow us to communicate, and it works really well going through the internet. Then we talked about a few more terms. We talked about, you know, at home you have this router switch device, and you can have, for example, in our house, I have a computer running Linux. It has an SSD drive. We have a cable modem. The device that modulates, demodulates is what modem means, but it really is basically a way to get the information from my router onto the cable, to the cable company, Mediacom, which is our ISP. And then how do we pay for that? Well, there's data limits, gigabytes, and how much we can, how fast we can send it, millions of bits per second. Coming down is faster than going up. We'll talk more about that later on. And so in our house we have a printer, and it's connected by Wi-Fi. I have my Linux machine, which is connected by a wire, and then we have a couple of laptops. We actually have more things than that, but we've got a couple laptops that we use, my wife and mine, and so we can be anywhere in the house and connect to the Wi-Fi, which most of you are probably familiar with. So when devices, whether it's your phone or any device, communicates to either another device or some, let's just for convenience say a web server that has our web pages, there is some protocol or protocols that are used to allow these two things to communicate. And we're going to learn just a little bit about those here in the next couple weeks. Alright, so I can be at home. Let me use this. I can be at home, and I can use my computer here, and I can communicate to this web server, and it can respond back to me. Here I can be using some software, and it uses a protocol out in the internet. It uses transmission control protocol, internet protocol, and this is where we get IP addresses from. And I can do the same to Google or to Facebook, all these servers connected in. Alright, that's enough for today.